Hello and welcome. It is Tuesday, the 29th day of August, 2017, and welcome. My name is Derek. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about pattern recognition because 3 times, each time more shorter than the last, there has been the failed breakdown going below key support. And then a move to the upside after that. All right then. So when did it first take place? Well, this one encountered its fast move down in here. I've talked about this one a few times. In here, I guess you can say it's still having its fast move to the upside because I'm going to be talking about the break of this resistance. But even very short term, there was a failed breakdown here. We'll show that on a much more shorter term time frame. But different things like this move in here, not even talking about the failed breakdown. Correctionary move to the rising 18 average of lows, small pierce below, and the first time since the breakout in which it encountered an 18 average test. It's good to note that. And then from that point forward, a bullish move to escape the band, thus get back into the bullish phase. But after just a small break, several periods going sideways, consolidating. And now a decent green size candle breaking higher, breaking through this level of resistance, albeit barely. That's what the message of the market's stating. This thing's saying, hey, I'm looking probably to go higher. So the odds mathematically that, say, in 24 hours from now, I think the over-under for price action should be close to 46.75. Which is outrageous to think there's a 50-50 chance that it'll do better than 1.8%. But you know what? That's just pattern recognition tells me I think there's a decent chance that it's probably going to hold any support down towards here if there is going to be any shorter term support levels. But on a break, this level in here, 44 and change to 45. Was resistance. You'd be looking for that area to be support, and that's if this breaks out well. 48, 49 in that area there would be a nice breakout. Shortening it out to the 4-hour time frame, this is where the second failed breakdown happened. This was some key levels of support that it established, and it ripped through both of those levels. And then, of course, it's now going higher. The second one's in here, but again, I want to shorten it out some more to look at that more clearly. So within it, we can see very clearly how a hair, or pretty much that of $4,400 was major resistance. Boom, and here, and again, here, a little bit before, and now it's broke. So very short term, 4,400 is viable. And notice them break higher, 200 basis points instantly. We'll shorten it out to see how fast it actually did go when it took out key support level, key resistance levels. Because when key levels get violated, either up or down, it usually results in decent size moves in that direction. And of course, this is most certainly a very viable unit. As we can see, it was tested on a handful of occasions. Now in the 45-minute time frame, we're going to see that more shorter term failed breakdown as there was this level of support. And here again, third time hit. And what was very interesting, I guess you could say this is a support level really as well. But after this level hit, it went higher. It didn't really sustain a great gain in comparison to where it came from. But what it did do for several periods was not test that key support level. But then as it was breaking down in here, and it then had its support test for this area here, it didn't hold it. Instead, failed breakdown. This is the third time recently I've seen this exact same pattern on this exact same code, Bitcoin to the dollar, where it breaks through a key support level, doesn't stay down there for that long, and then it eventually regains its trading level, and then moves in a bullish market to, of course, have its fast move to the opposite direction, and opposite of down is up. So then that's what we're seeing within it. Also worth noting, like I was stating, the 4,400 barrier area. When it's broke, how fast is the break going to be? Well, on the 45-minute time frame, I can see that at least some of this period and some of this was the case. So in less than an hour and a half, I know for sure was the break from 44 to 46.50. And let's finish this off within the 5-minute time frame. So what I was looking at here was mainly how fast was the breakout from the key 44-20-ish area. So I guess the answer would be from the break of this short, sorry about that, break from the key 44.20 resistance level. So I guess right in here. Therefore, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 full periods after that fact. So about 20 minutes or so was the duration of time in which it broke that key variable that was so well known for a significant period of time. And the gain 44.20 to 46.50 is a difference of about 230 basis points. So that's about 4.x%, a little under 5% of a move, again in 20 minutes. That is very common. So now as it's making new all-time highs, how high is it going to go? Well, it's established a short-term level of resistance only. And only short-term, that is. 46.20, 46.20 in here, and then an upwards rectangular area to go to 46.50. You also got this area here at 46.10-ish or so, coinciding a little bit again within just this point as well. So 46 low, like we got 46.10-ish to 46.50 is now that key resistance level. Short term, same thing. You've established this support level and this support level. This has been somewhat of a match in here. So if you want to make the rectangular, at least as of now, this would be the short term levels. So when you look at it from this point of view, when price action, which it currently is in this range in here, that means it's neutral within its last move. So very short term neutrality. If it's in here, an attempt to do its bull market thing and go bullish, neutral with a very heavy bias if price action moves in here, which means there's a very good chance it could probably break it and then establish another new all-time highs, 47.10, 47.70. Who knows how fast that would go, because like I've stated, break key levels, it could go fast. And in here, it wouldn't be a surprise if it breaks through this that you have a fast move down to here, which then keeps it neutral within this move, but with a bearish downside, because if this level doesn't hold, and I would be relatively surprised if it breaks and holds below it, but it could do it. But if that's the case, then this would be rolling over. And is this one of those really quick fake breakouts that isn't real? It's not something you see too often. Is that? But you never know. However, if that's the case, then that would mean more towards the more again the 30-minute or hour, 2-hour, 4-hour time frames. Because if let's just assume this were to pull back to 44.40, what would that mean for, say, something like the 1 hour chart? And that would just be coming back to where it came from. There's, again, the 4,400. And, of course, I knew that. That's why I stated that number. But within the price action, what would you say is most likely to happen next? A 200-point drop to 44 or a 200-point rise to 48? And if I was to get even odds on the bet, and I was forced to make a bet, which is, I mean, fair rig. In fact, you can take the advantage of it. I think it's more likely we will see 48 before we'll see 44. I mean, just because I think that doesn't mean it will. But I've been seeing this. I've been liking a lot of this bullish behavior. I've talked 3 different times, or at least 3 different situations, about how this failed move, fast move, exactly the same way, has been working within a very bullish market. This thing was under $1,000 earlier this year. Let's show that price again. And this is back in March. So it's went from about 900 to what now is 4,600 in a matter of just a few months. The difference of such is enormous, as that would be about 37 on 900. That's pretty nice, about little over 4.5 times, 350% of a gain. The dollar hasn't lost 4.5 times its value in that situation, but people are getting into the cryptocurrencies. A lot of it is because of not only the uncertainty of the fiat currencies, but more so the certainty of what they know about the fiat currencies. And that's been driving the price towards the upside. Is it overextended? Well, the most longest term chart I can use, that would be the weekly time frame. And the pattern on this is so simple. Parabolic up move to start this thing off to this point. Nice decent price correction. Small bull market, small moves up to here, and then boom, a major parabolic move. Very decent bear market in here, making a higher low. And then what has been grindingly making a bull market, high to the low, high to the low, high, low, which then changed in here. One of the ways you can notice the change is by simple trend lines. That level is taken out, and now you got some parabolic ones, which at least at this stage haven't been violated. So a couple ways of determining overextensions is how much higher are you from the big level. And when you take a look at this, it's getting close, actually. It's getting relatively close to, it's a decent amount higher. So, and I've been stating before that in this area, it's getting close to it. Like the 5,000 to 6,000 area, that really wouldn't surprise me. And I think for a short-term level, the WebBots talk about 6,800, which is in the same area as well. That's just eyeball test, what you would look for as an overextended level. Another way I like to look at it is the 18 average. I use that so often. I've been using it for about, 5+ years now. 6 years, maybe 5, around 5 years, and I have not stopped using it since. Since I noticed it being available, and ever since. Well, if you've been watching my videos, you've seen it all the way through. However, how far extended are you from the 18 average of highs? I don't need any Bollinger Bands, and I used to make my own calculations to do better than the Bollinger Bands, more aggressive than such, because the Bollinger Bands oftentimes were like so easy to hit. Well, with that being stated, I don't even need to look at that. I know if you're well above the 18 average of highs, you're starting to get overextended. And in this case, it's a little bit above it. I definitely could see more, but I look at this even more clearly on a candle by candle level, And when I just want to look at a few candles, I can shorten this out and look at maybe like 20, no, but rather 60, 80, 100, 110 periods, which I'm going to do now. And what I can see within such is that it made a move up to this high in here, extended well above the 18 average of highs. And for one full period in here, the remainder of this period, and up to even now, it's really been consolidating these gains. And of course, as we've seen in the daily time frame, breaking out a couple hundred basis points higher. So within this a little bit overextended period, it's had a little bit of a correctionary move, and it's showing a little bit of profit for maybe a little bit of further extension within the moves. And of course, that little bit further should reach close to the 5,000 plus number. So there definitely shows reasons why short term this thing could extend a little bit further before you would expect to have a pullback. But let's now talk about, okay, it extends that bit further, 5,000, 51, 52, and I mean, who knows how high that range could get within it. But if you don't get to the resistance where you're expected to, watch out for extreme moves continuing in that direction. And then, of course, at the same point, extreme moves down because you get your resistance. Okay, so be it. But at the same point, you can be right in having resistance and have situations of just medium correctionary moves because, resistance here, a little bit of correction. Resistance here, a little bit of correction. And then again, and that's what you might get. Okay, you come up here a bit, and then maybe it comes back down and supports this 18 average band again, because it's been support over and over and over again since the bottom. The only times on the weekly time frame since it's broke out that it's had any real movement below it was in here. A little bit of an attempt in here. So it had a really good correction. And let's even look at some of the X numbers. You go from 900 up to about 3,000 or so. A little over 3X correctionary move. And then you go from a little under 2,000, 1,800. If you 3X that, you're talking about 5,400. So that would be about here. Again, you're looking for what area, where would it go to, where you could reach some sort of overextended levels. And at some point, there's going to be some sort of a correctionary phase that can be more deep. Is it going to happen now at that phase with the free market and the fundamentals of fiat currencies? And I don't think it's ready for that at that stage. And that's how I'm playing it, and that's what I'm thinking. What you decide to do, how you play the cryptocurrencies, that's your decision. So thank you for tuning in. Anything that you decide is within your own risk and own reward. And have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.